of all, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. We're so happy that you're here. We're so happy.
Happy New Year.
At the Riverhead Public Library and also all of you at home on Zoom. Well, we have a full house and we're so happy again that you're here. Welcome to Poetry Street. This is the room without a roof where every voice is heard. We'd like to start with the land welcoming New York City, way out west, and extra Long Island, which is where we are in Riverhead, has always been the trading and gathering places for many of the indigenous people. And we acknowledge that we are only guests on this land. Poetry Street and our work in this area of Long Island is situated on the ancestral and unceded lands of the Lenape, who are the original caretakers. Also the Canarsie, the Shinnecock, Montauk, the Recordwalk, the Montse, and the Hansay. We acknowledge that and we pay respect to the many indigenous people who live on this land and continue to make ongoing contributions. And now it is my distinct honor to bring to the podium Maggie Bloomfield.
Thank you, Chip. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me. Oh, good. Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome Zoom people. Hi, Susan. She's way out in Washington State. Welcome to Poetry Street, the room without a roof, where every voice is heard. We began this venture 12 years, almost 12 years ago, and we're going strong. We started out at the Bloomfield Bakery with Susan Dingle and Bobby Brown hosting, and we moved. We got closed. We moved around a bit during COVID, and here we are, guests of this wonderful library. And I want to thank Joanne White and the library for giving us a new home. We've been here a while now. It's wonderful. I'm going to go over the procedures for the day. We have procedures here. We have three wonderful poets featuring today. They will each read for about 12 minutes, and then we will have an open mic. And after the open mic, the features will come back for one encore poem, time permitting. We encourage people to love poetry here. So I think everybody here has been here before, but the rules are, if you love somebody's poem, you make a lot of noise, a lot of them. So even we're downstairs, we can scream as loud as we want. And, you know, that encourages people to come back. And that's kind of the point, right? And to begin to write and love poetry. Before we start, let me tell you about the community poem. There is a jar. Oh, be sure and sign in when you guys come in, please. The community poem is made up of your contribution. I would like you all to write one line. I gave you a prompt over there, but you don't have to use it. Write one line. And your email address also, because we want to be able to get in touch with you. I will take those home, put them together, and next month there will be a community poem. So to find out what it is, you have to come back next month. We do have a poem for today. We did not have Poetry Street during December. So this is sort of has a holiday feel, even though the holidays are over. These are lines from November's poem. Dad, we used to celebrate together. My dad is Santa in heart and appearance. Our holidays warm and nostalgic. We were like children past bedtime. Patience and kindness are categories this time of year. Rejoice with me, and this world could be such a lovely place. I wish my mom were coming home. I would be excited and afraid at seeing her again. I must admit, I added one line of my own. So we're gonna move right along with teachers.
Maggie,
Yes,
can you tell the group on Zoom what the prompt is you left on the table?
yes, if I remembered it. Oh, Vinny,
It's
what,
if I fall in love. I fall in love.
I fall in
I
love.
fall in love.
I fall in love is the prompt for the Zoom. People send your lines to Claire and she will send them to me.
Good chat.
Okay. First up today is somebody who has featured for us before. He is such a gifted young man. He is an author and a poet. He resides in Baldwin. And he's on Zoom today. He's performed in local mics and festivals around Long Island and New York City since 2017. He's self-published his own books entitled Drift, Drift 15, and Drift 2, which are available now on Amazon. Please help me welcome Kris.
Thank you. Thank you. The second book is not Drift 15, it's Drift 1.5. But anyway, thank you for having me.
Sure.
I'll get started. And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Whenever ice shows up to your city, an iceberg flips, whether in Antarctica or Greenland, trespassing your property, loaded pistols, overworked pistons, due to too much idling from their unmarked explorers, driven by citizens and criminals who are impassioned to divide families, including their own, while they're hiding in homes, no heat, only the kind that are packed in pockets from the ones they once loved back in the day. Now they're mindless and masked up cubes. You'd think they're three-dimensional, but instead out of shape and out of place after slipping from spinning every block of Minnesota, New York, California, etc. Eventually, they will melt in these streets, and the geese will happily bathe in it. Tabs will be open in bars, and protesters will all have drinks on the rocks all day and night. Grief will taste sweet at the very least. Poem. Next poem I'm going to do is a new poem that I've posted on Substack, and the name of the Substack page is called The Drifter. So here I go. The title of the poem is called Rational Questions. Are they? Does mums bloom after a snowstorm? Can cars run on unrefined fuel? Does edible mushrooms ever come in clusters in the woods? Does tears ever taste bitter? When will blood taste like strawberries? Does vinyls ever been counted as an album sale for the Billboard 200? Is a king ever aware that he's a public servant to millions who've been constantly robbed for billions? What's the difference between morale and the truth if lies are evolved with humans and animals and Mother Nature? Would you believe me if I tell you that there's a cloudy sky in your eyes? Would you eat a charred heart? Would you believe me if I told you that the heart you just ate was actually yours long after you thought that you transplanted to someone sick, but instead transported to a lab where underground doctors inject hormones in it to clone them so that Purdue and Tyson can pay the middleman before they manufacture them and send these packages for sale at numerous supermarkets? Yeah, I believe your heart is in these packages somewhere in the world. Poem. The next one that is published in the Drifter from my Substack
Turn on chat preview.
is titled Grief Have Hands. Grief have hands that can chew through walls, since it emulate a shape of crab claws, fangs and molars with plaque around them, indefensible, inevitable. Our flesh will be imprinted with teeth marks. The blood shed from our muscles will continue until we go through denial, anger, bargain, depression, and acceptance. We will all catch these hands kinetically, but we should breathe after every blow nasally, because its salivating palms will open your chest and swallow your heart. A pain we will endure and hopefully not succumb. Close your eyes and envision Earth spinning with billions of arms orbiting, knocking down space junk and satellites. A spiritual phenomenon, a soul's Achilles heel. Angel's bow always breaks, but their wings flap forcefully towards us anytime. Keep your loved ones in your thoughts. Maintain a healthy perspective. Grow another heart, for it will be eaten again. Poem. The next one is titled Queen's Whistle. Shoulder blade wings, broken heart tramp stamp, lightning scars on every region of her chiseled back. She's taken off from the Kew Gardens LIRR stop to the Whitestone Bridge, where she landed on one of the towers. She pulled out a death whistle from her breast, blew softly, and instantly a power outage spreads in Flushing, Jackson Heights, Whitestone, College Point, Parkchester, Rikers Island, Soundview, anywhere in a 5-mile radius from where she stands. The East River ripples, and the fishes are submerged in iron oxide in 5 seconds due to the rust from the bottom of the tower. These small clouds paste up and move northeast. The sky remained clear, but the sun disappeared. Poem. New York Fate. Suzuki bikes spurt past people in Isuzus cruising in traffic on 5th and 34th, where the giant needle looms over the intersection. Where the traffic lights just died, divine intervention was their best friend momentarily. Monarchs and bats can coexist in the Big Apple. Cider and Irish cream during happy hour foam quietly, fizz on their mustaches. Napkins were never used at the bar. Chewed gum stays under the soles of clamoring women in business suits, conducting verbal agreements with their virgin clients who don't read contracts. New York Fate. Poem. Next one. A premonition on America. Under the shower head, spouting hot water, trickling down from my Caesar to my greasy, sebaceous melanin, dreading the day the Supreme Court will revoke the Voting Rights Act. There would be foam films of marches with picket signs scribbled in wet markers, Main Street stampeded by old and future generations classified by the government or writers or theorists or the media, as if we'd care if you can come up with Greek names better than others. Sirens ripping through eardrums every day, as if our limbic system is not numb enough. Lead water fountains will be back again, as if we didn't know 100% spring was never 100% off waste. Sneering judges glaring at the shuddering innocent, as if we don't know that he'll be another statistic for wrongful conviction, along with many more who forever got prison numbers across their traps. If the bill is revoked, you might as well erase Lyndon's signature. Poem. Just going through it. Start over. Tires have feelings too. These rolling tires on the concrete create reverbs in the street. The never-ending ambience in our ears from time to time re-sub-vocalize to their inner voices of rubber by telling them to stay warm and not fade away too quick, as we constantly burn them to get to where we need and want to go every day while gradually racking up miles up to 1 million, although their odometer don't have an extra digit. Phone. Speedy box. A gray boxy Volvo cruise alone to the Midtown Tunnel from the Queens Midtown Expressway, entering a free toll booth on low throttle, and after it passed, the 740 dash pushing fumes from 5 cylinders, covering the scene with haze before it dissipates in the 4 a.m. air. It's zooming past vanilla bean lights on 5,000 RPM on third gear, pushing pebbles off the old pavement, drifting on one big right turn into the other end, and ran the green so fast that the Empire State Building had to move back as the boxy car enters 37th Street. Full of electric cabs that are double parking in front of luxury apartments with fringe trees stripped of its petals by the wind and magically covers the speeding box. Poem. Thank you.
So here,
Thank you very much.
let's hear it again.
What happened? Drift 1.5, Drift 2 is available now on Amazon.
One more time for Kris.
Next up is a good friend of Poetry Street. Her poetry has received recognition when she was 7 years old. She is a writing coach and adjunct professor of English and Humanities at SUNY Suffolk. Jen holds an MFA in writing from Southampton College, an MA in psychology from NYU, and a BFA in film from NYU. Her poetry, stories, and articles have appeared in numerous publications. Help me welcome Jen Senft.
So, well, thank you, Chip and Maggie.
And Claire.
And Claire, oh my gosh. Claire. I love you and I love Poetry Street, and I'd say more, but I thought I had more than 12 minutes, so I'm gonna get right to it, but you know I love you. So I'm writing a memoir. I'm writing a memoir in verse. It's individual poems. And what I did for today, can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could be loud. I could be louder. So I'm scared to touch anything. Okay. So what I did for today was I edited them to create a story. So each time that I read something from it, I've read a poem that could be self-contained. These more tell the story. And so you don't need to applaud after each poem because they are a thing, unless, you know, I just blow you away. So, the first one is 14. I'm 14 years and my dad might go to prison. His office raided by agents who emptied it of mercy, who emptied him of color. I hope, I write, I pray, please don't let Daddy go to prison. 3 years is the investigation. I also am emptied these years, all my years of high school. I tell no one. Often I don't eat. Ice cream sandwich, age 17. During breaks in the trial, we bought ice cream sandwiches from the vending machines in the hall of the courthouse. After my dad was convicted and before he was sentenced to 15 years, I bought one to give him. A guard who was a large man raised his arm in front of mine to stop me. One day, ice cream. Next day, no ice cream for you. Next year, I will binge bulimic on ice cream. Untitled. An officer heavy with weapons leads me wordless through multiple sets of steel doors. Most slide loud, the last would swing had it not been removed from its hinges. A new guard seated in the foul-smelling room finds me on today's visitor list. He tells me go ahead, and I sit and I wait for my dad to be led to me. My dad, who sat me behind him in a small bike seat, riding diagonal clear across Fifth Avenue and through Central Park, where from his shoulders I could see the magician over the crowd of people. Now he appears from that thick steel door behind which he lives. Haiku. I live alone now, not by choice, lost my family. Now I live alone. The next one's a little bit longer. It's called the Palladium, or Gray is the City at Dawn. At the Conestell's bar, tropical paper umbrellas stand in frozen margaritas tinted with blue curacao. drinks the color of someone's eyeshadow. Tonight we meet men wearing Wall Street. Palladium sounds good, they say, so we go in their limo. We're 18 and don't know them. I became this person in fishnet stockings, garter belt, black miniskirt, and red hair. I don't know how I got here. 2 VIP rooms beyond the Michael Todd room, framed nudes, which might be high art, and public sex. I know no one standing along the wall or the bar or on the plush sofas strewn with silk and chiffon cased pillows, and the air smells of Halston. I lost someone downstairs. Down more stairs, a crowd of women and mirrors streaked with paint the colors of the zeitgeist, Midori green, grenadine red, and schnapps pink, all in a hall leading to a bathroom that is as bright as the next day. My roommate is in a phone booth with the British guy who will become her boyfriend for 2 years. Her pale bare legs and spiked high blonde hair, her Revlon red lips, and she is Lolita beautiful. Men become still as a freeze frame when she enters a bar. I don't know this, but years from now, she will commit suicide. I will not be surprised, but I will be gutted. We retrieve our coats. It is cold out, the limo gone. Gray is the city at dawn. We go to Locks around the clock for breakfast. Prison life. I cannot see this movie or eat this food because my dad can't. I cannot succeed or enjoy anything he can't. I cannot fail him either. Wherever I am, my dad is in prison. My spirit, not separate from his, I am also imprisoned. The next one is called Kenny the Food Runner, and it's not quite a poem yet, but it will be in the future. I have written many poems and essays about you since 1987. You wanted to know me, who I really was. I know that because I have reread my words many times, and because it meant so much to me that you became, I thought for decades, emblematic of an era. But you were more than an emblem of more than an era. You were a person I adored and a juncture. My prior self would never exist again, not in any era. No one like you would know me. For I had already learned or thought I had learned, perhaps intuited, that if you knew me, you would not like me. You were another juncture. You were the person I wanted to be with and turned away in a terrible way. It's meant to say you were the first person. I changed what I wore, slipped out of my person and into one who attracted another kind of man. You obliged innocently, and then I left. That night is as clear as this year and as lonesome as a widow. One strange special day as a man with a Polaroid camera, you and me. You wear fatigues, I wear clothing I bought at Canal Jeans, a shirt, dress, and wide canvas belt, the color and style of your uniform. My head tilted toward your face, your arm around my shoulder. We stand in front of a cement wall of the prison visiting room. I now keep this Polaroid in a sacred envelope, which I lose, then find again. Soundboard haiku. Doing cocaine off the soundboard after the show is over. Just 2 more, 666 DeGraw Street. My address was the devil the year after I was raped by cocaine dealers. On 666 DeGraw, My chest was ammonia roped in anticipation of fresh violation. Every Brooklyn siren, window tap and wind, someone's breaking in, cortisol said. Silence, silence, hummed with tinnitus on 666 DeGraw. Terror loved my young body. I'd like to read, okay, I'll read one more. Aftertaste. And this is a metaphor, lest you think this happened. I can still taste the exit wound from the bullet my body held long after the shot had been fired. I folded, allowing shards of shrapnel to hit, lodge, and live in my skin, not running from that prison, nor putting the past in its rightful place. Now, I walk in the present tense, holding only, but still holding, that bitter aftertaste.
Oh, my goodness. Let's hear it for Jen Senft. Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful. And she will be coming back for another at the end of the program. Last featured today, but certainly not least, is someone who just transcends the islands practically. He's internationally known. He's a musician. He has 1 million books. He's writer in residence at the Walt Whitman birthplace, author of 45 chapbooks of poetry, and winner of the 2025 Penn Oakland Josephine Miles Award. A New York City native, he travels internationally to share his work, and in 2024 was awarded an honorary doctorate from the Royal Academy of Spain. Please help me welcome the great George Wallace.
I could get at Spain. See myself. 1, 2, 3, 4. How's this sound?
Good.
Getting you in the back? How about you guys on the screen? You getting me?
Yes.
Great, thanks. I got 12 minutes. I'll read you a couple poems, and let me just say there's a beautiful experience driving here today from Huntington. Gorgeous sun. I was afraid we were going to have a ton of snow again. So I feel like we all looked out. It's a pleasure to be back here with Chip and Maggie, who are doing a bang-up job with this series. Put your hands together. In every city, a city we just don't see. A city of ghosts, saints, and broken angels. Newsagents, sausage stuff, invisible hipsters, wise to the new ways. City of blind rage and broke ambition. Drunks, more drunks. And dreamers, steamrollers, teetotalers, Hart Cranes, Jack Londons, Frank O'Hara's, Juna Barnes. The city we just don't see. Undercurrent gangs of men looking for work, shift changers, pocket pickers, loners, losers, luckless damn fools, children, mothers with parasols and prams, brain surgeons with sterilized hands, patriots, pioneers, hookers with their eyes on the prize. The muse strikes back the muse strikes back. Out through the front door, in through the back. Tough gents, plutocrats, churchmen tipping their hats to each other. Mobsters, secret politicians with triggered fingers. Another city we just do not see. We just don't see. Deferential men, defeated men, rich men full of pride, deal makers, mulish, passionate, and cruel, drugged out, soul-saving investors, iconoclasts, flower merchants, tuba players, old women teetering on blue vein legs, drugged out, shod boys red-faced in the snow, women with jewels, fast-moving vehicles, money, 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 smokestack dump trucks burned in the soot black night. Another city just do not see. Suits, smiles, menthol cigarettes, high heels, low riders, tongues like typewriters, deadbeats, highlighters, bottom feeders, top dogs, rap musicians, pocket pickers, seamstresses, strike busters, union goons, city within a city, city within a city, city we just do not see. We pass through it. We pass through it with our impossible wandering eyes, wreathed in oblivious mist. Kept lost singers and secret angels in a city within a city. City just don't see.
Thank you, Barry.
All right, we still good?
Yeah,
These are two poems that are going to appear very soon in an anthology called Depose. It's an anthology which I think the theme is solidarity with working people. This first one is called At the Slaughterhouse of the Innocent. They displayed his body in copper mines. They displayed his body in laundry houses. They displayed his body in the slaughter pen and prison dining hall. To the children of the mad, to the children of the damned, to the children of the innocent, the orphans and the disenchanted. They hung his face on shit-stuccoed walls and on the front pages of big city magazines. They whispered it into the ear of the leper, in the leper's bed. And the widow at the grave, we have killed him. We have killed him. They marched in victory parades. They hung banners in the branches of the Tipuana tree. They displayed his body naked as a hillside, naked as a light bulb, bullet-ridden and listless as a side of beef on a butcher's rack. But they could not kill him. They could not kill him because he was confident to the last and wide as a continent, even in death, with his poetry and his love and his patience, and his patient working man's hand. And the people whispered, he is alive, he is alive. Because the people are stubborn as mud and strong. Stubborn as a pool of blood on the side of a government highway, because the people tell truth no one else will tell, truths no one else will tell, if only to teach each other. beneath deafening skies. Because what means can streak victorious across the face of heaven all day long if they want, all day long if they want, but they cannot cast shadows over pure men and women's hearts. Because his was their victory, and they knew it. They snatched him from the mouth of death because he was live as soil to them, live as soil. Their soil, their soil, no one else's, their soil, live as seed, live as hope, live as the fruit of the Achatura tree. I'll say this one thing on. I like peace, I like reconciliation. Working man's shoes. Peace comes first to the lowlands and the plain. After the dust is settled, there's work to be done. Wounded count, plows put to soil. Peace returns, natural as snow melt after a hard winter. In the indigenous hills, the smell of blood and tear gas fading, daylight floods the darkest cave and lowest gorge and foxhole. When the combat's done and the vultures have moved on. In the streets of Illinois and New York and Minnesota, when the camp followers and apologists and merchants of hate have gone, and dance girls lost their luster, peace, peace like cattle on the unbroken prairie, undisturbed peace, swollen as a river, peace near to bursting, peace at the dinner table, peace behind the hardware store, peace where hired men gather, the spoils of war distributed hand to hand, and death's pageantry forgotten. Scimitars ringing, tanks rolling, goon squads wrestling freedom fighters to the ground. War against the people is a horror. Scapegoating a cruel mistress. One day the land will be level again, and men remain honest. Old grudges lifted. Fog and frenzy and blindness is buried. And the nation will lose its taste for big lies and big enemies. And peace will be like pollen in our nose. A noose loosened from around our necks. Unexceptional, undramatic, respectful of dissenters, fine weather yet from foul and in no manner harmful. Yes, peace will come first to lowlands and plain, after the deluge. The soil rich and peace in the river valley and crosstown buses and fences to mend, harnesses to repair, humanity to rebuild, sons and daughters to raise back up from ruin. No time for the devil to roam street to street, door to door, looking for a skull to crack or a child to kidnap, or a scapegoat to frighten or maim. Peace is the nation woken from its nightmare, removing its helmet, its mask, its combat fake on, wig, its crown of thorns, citizen. Peace is the nation, putting back on its working man's shoes.
Okay. Let's hear it for sure. We're going to go to the open mic now. Chip will be leading that.
All right, everyone, once again, thank you so much for your patience.
Yeah.
We're in a new room down here and a lot of things are happening, but we will continue on. Once again, thank you all for being here at the Free Riverhead Public Library and also those of you on Zoom. And we're going to start the open mic with those of you on Zoom. So Claire, who do we have coming up?
Okay, the first three on Zoom are Laren Gerard, followed by Megan Deutsch, and then Susan Dingle.
I have an Instagram. My Instagram for my poetry is LMG Poetry. But my published poetry work was not much of it, but it's under Laren Gerard. All right, we'll start with the first one here. There's an airstrip that's abandoned. It runs outside my window at work. And it's such a foreboding image of souls who came here and never take flight. I can't tell if I'm waiting in the window for some distant plane to finally arrive, or if I'm waiting in the window hoping that I will find my wings and feel comfortable in flight. Every thought of moving forward keeps me frozen in today, and I'm reminded I am only myself just now learning to live. Finding peace that is more valuable than any soul who tried to hold me. I'm reminded I have nothing now for anyone who brings me anything less than peace.
Thank you, Laren. We do limit it to one poem.
Oh, I didn't know that. I would have known. I would have done something else. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We will now go to Megan Deutsch.
Thank you. It's great to be here. This poem is called Snow Day. We walked up the hill side by side. I glided over the blizzard's gift with glee. Dad grumbled, then laughed, feet sinking, powder to his knees. Other storms sifted their power over us that winter of '96. In some, my sister and I swept our arms into angels' wings or packed balls for snowmen that didn't melt until spring, sledded through snow as crisp as our excitement for the future. We can't force air to give us the snow we crave. Don't know what kind of flakes will meet our ground tomorrow. If they'll feel too heavy to shovel, if they'll just dust the trees, if they'll hold our prints. But it's how we move through them, how we play, that matters. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. And we'll now go to Susan Dingle.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. This is an invocation for the Interfaith Service, January 24th, 2026. Sometimes I feel so numb. All I can do is say their names. Renee Good, murdered by an ICE agent on January 7th. A poet like me. A white woman speaking kindly to the enemy. And a few days later, a 5-year-old is abducted from a schoolyard. His name is Liam. He is deported to Texas, a refugee like Jesus. And we know their names: Liam, Renee, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Michael Ferguson, Freddie Gray, Emmett Till, among so many unknown names along the trail of tears, marginalized and erased people of color. Here we are again, dear friends, neighbors, members of churches, mosques, synagogues, tribes, faith associations united within this sacred space, a beloved community. I remember in kindergarten when we recited the Pledge of Allegiance, how loud and proud we were when we reached the final line with liberty and justice for all. With liberty and justice for all, they crossed the Edmund Pettus Bridge, braved beatings, arrests, and fire hoses, practiced nonviolence. When I was in 7th grade, the Freedom Riders visited our school on their way to Selma, and I remember their names: Andrew Goodman, Michael Schwerner, James Cherney. Beloved community, what if it's our turn? Let us stand together, arms linked, singing, "This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Through this valley of the shadow of death, let us fear no evil. No matter the road we trod, we will cherish the names of the slaughtered. We will love every neighbor as ourselves and overcome every enemy with love." Thank you.
Thank you so much, Susan. I'm turning it back to Chip.
Thank you so much, all three. I am so proud of my grandson, Jaden Williford, who was at the Uniondale High School last night for the We See You award ceremony. And during that event, I met this bright young poet that presented that night, and he's on the Zoom call tonight. His name is Bryce Bates. Hey, Bryce, if you could unmute, that would be great. Oh, awesome. Hi, Bryce. How are you? I'm so glad that you made it on. Would you like to read your poem now?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Do you want to be on camera or no?
No, I'm not sure. I don't look really good right now.
Oh,
Have-
that's quite all right. I totally understand. If I was 16 years old, I'll be rolling out of bed right now too. I really thank you for coming on to Poetry Street. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Bryce.
This poem is titled "Today I'm Not a Person." Today, I am not a person, but a process. Not a nameless noun, but a velvet verb. I am the ink-blotted sky, the fleeting comet, bones of the void, voices of the unheard. All this time, I thought I was the sculpture undone. It turns out I'm the hands, the clay, the turning wheel. Whether I'm the seamster, spindle, or sweater spun, I float beyond the tethers of silk, of what's called real. I am autumn leaving and spring arriving, and winter holding space between the two breaths. I am the thing that sheds and the thing that grows, and the ordinary dirt composting everything to gold. My small mind keeps asking, when will I be enough? My big mind whispers, you are enoughness itself. Still learning how to recognize your face in each mirror. I'm not waiting I'm not waiting for myself to come. I'm already here and everywhere all at once. The ocean never worries about being an ocean. It just crashes, pulls back, then crashes yet again. Just like you, sweeping winds, and all that has learned to let go in order to hold more. And that's it.
Congratulations for our job well done last night. And now, ladies and
Thank
gentlemen,
you.
we're gonna- oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much. And we're gonna get in touch with you to give you some addresses so you can get some workshop hours in, okay?
Okay.
All right, awesome. Now we're gonna come back to the Riverhead Public Library and ask Vinnie Cologne to come up and read. Thank you.
Thank you, Chip. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Claire, George, Jen, and Kris. You were wonderful today. I just want to let everybody know I have an open mic, a new open mic at Book and Mortar in Mount Sinai. It's the first Tuesday of the month. So this Tuesday, Mount Sinai, Book and Mortar. Come on down. Our feature is going to be MT Paridi.
I'm gonna move you over a little bit, okay? Thank you so much.
All right. So the poem I'm going to read is a homage to Wallace Stevens, the snowman. It's called Button Nose. Snowman button nose is all that is left from the coat that my grandmother bought me. A blue, dark blue pea coat worn on the first day of school. The one in the photo, the one draped on the hook, the itchy, scratchy type that made you sweat, that never buttoned properly. It was always in the way, falling down, getting stained. We kept you all those years, dry cleaned you so many times, lent to so many children, how you were handled so delicately through the years. You always had a spot, a space to hang, to stay and wait like a sponge. You absorbed the smells of home-cooked meals into your fibers. Then you listened for the laughter and the tears. You hung on the hook in the hall waiting for something more, too small to wear. There were no toddlers or small ones left to wear you, so you sat, too special to discard. We donated you to the poor, to the church last fall, but oh, how we loved you, and how sorry we were to see you go. That button nose is all that is left now, found in the bottom of a junk drawer. I placed you on a snowman and smiled, and it warmed me one more time before it was lost in the snow melt, lost in the lawn, and buried in the backyard forever.
Thank you so much, Vinnie. And now we have Diane Morelli. Let's give it up for Diane.
Thank you, Chip. Thank you, everyone. I'd like to read a little prose poem that I call Snow CD. Snow CD may not be an illness documented by the American Psychiatric Association in their authoritative guide, the DSM. It's more of a self-diagnosis. It starts with the forecast, 32 degrees and falling, a wintry mix, an accumulation greater than the dusting. The adrenaline surge is on. Trust me, I'd love nothing more than to sit at ease by the fire as frosty flakes float down from the heavens, gather around my humble home, and turn my glum surroundings into a surreal winterscape. Once the storm is over, a well-meaning neighbor will clear out the driveway with a quick pass of his snowblower. In the final step of the cleanup, the sun will burn through the murky clouds and do its thing. This should be good enough to soothe my jangling nerves, but it's not. So out I go into the biting cold, wind lashing through my waterproof outerwear. Broom, shovel, chopper, sodium something or other, guaranteed to melt ice. The tools I use to rule the storm. Push, lift, pile onto the side. I work beyond sunset if need be,
to do the job the right way. You see, I am not satisfied until every speck of frozen precipitation has been banished from the blacktop. That makes the weight of the first shovelful feel heavier than any one that follows. Thank you.
That was amazing, Diane. Thank you so much. Donna Munoz. Here she comes. There you go on the way by Donna. Is that good for you? Let me raise it up. Well.
This is called Robin Raid. The tree with waxy, dark green pointed leaves, thorns that pierce skin, and the reddest of berries, like the blood the leaves draw. Christmas connotations, it's a tree, not a bush of holly, full of multiple story bird hotel. Manager Mockingbird on the highest perch, keeping the riffraff out until that faded day. January is January's before when it happens. Convention time. A raid of robins comes in to wreck the joint like rock stars, gorging on the reddest of berries, soiling on everything as they go by. Manager Mockingbird on the highest branch does his best to wrangle the January stampede of rockin' robins, wrecking the place and gorging on the reddest of berries like the horde they are, raiding the place. Manager Mockingbird fails and abandons his post. Riffraff avails themselves to gorge and check out of the multi-story bird hotel. Leave as fast as they came. Manager Mockingbird brings things to order. Holly tree reaped of its berries by the robin reed. Thank you.
Now we're gonna do one more here, ladies and gentlemen. Please give it up for Nina Yavell. Nina Yavell is doing our 4,200 road in Finland. So that's Nina.
Every year I have to read this or say this poem called Mid-January. In mid-January, while the pumpkins dry, Indian corn, ruby and yellow light, the gourds rest undisturbed, their puckered flesh scented. In this mid-season of time, just as the brimming winter has arrived, October's sun still buttered, rest like amber in the mind. The air clears, saunters through the window, tastes of green. Not holly, not holly, but lilacs from another spring. The seasons turn as I continue on to dream of warmer suns and roses in this thistle vase, sipping honeyed tea, remembering.
Thank you so much, Nina. And Claire, let's get some more from Zoom.
Okay, our next three are going to be J.R. Turek, followed by Tony Policano and Randy Fowler. And I'm going to ask Judy to unmic.
Super. Thank you, Claire. You're doing a fabulous job with the technology and keeping us zooming. Thank you. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Chip. Thank you, Kris. Thank you, Jen. Oh, and thank you, George. Wonderful poetry. So it's an easy choice what to read today, because in my mailbox yesterday was a splendiferous surprise, and that would be my poem in the Long Island Quarterly and Walt's Corner. So thank you, George. 5 minutes in my garden. 5 sparrows jostle at the feeder. 5 blue jays gangster the bird bath. 5 mourning doves coo a sorrowful dirge. 5 t-shirts flap from the backyard clothesline. 5 socks wonder where their mates are. 5 times I pick up a pillowcase trying to escape. 5 rosebuds on one stem. 5 butterflies flit from rose to dahlia. 5 raindrops send me inside. Thank you.
Thank you so much, JR. And now we'll go to Tony. And I'm going to ask him to unmute. He's unmuted. Let's get him.
So thank you everyone. Chip, wonderful. Molly, wonderful. Organizing, and Claire, terrific features. Just perfect today. Anyway, I'm going to read a poem that George also had published in the Long Island Quarterly. Maybe 2 Long Island Quarterlies ago. It's called Love Letter to a Stranger on a Bus in Queens. I used to be a photography student, so this was kind of looking back and a little reminiscence. Love letter to a stranger on a bus in Queens. Empty seat beside you. Olympus OM1 camera in my shaky hands. Bus bruising over potholed streets. As I stood, saw what I wanted but wasn't sure whether to just take or to ask for your photograph. Young, black, beautiful bus rider, flower holder, yellow rose bouquet, bought for some occasion or just because it was a Friday. November's dusk tilting past urban sunset. Bus interior lights still unlit. Heading home, talking to no strangers, staring out a dark window, your reflection blossoming in the glass. Flowers nestled on your lap. My black and white photograph, not snapped. The bus stopped at your stop. You got up and flew off into a crowd. So I never got the photograph. I got a poem.
Thanks so much, Tony. We're now going to go over to Randy Fowler.
All right. And this year, my second full year in poetry, and I'm kind of emphasizing an outward focus, and I've dropped about 10 videos on women's issues lately because I grew up with a single mother. And so this is on that theme. Restored Beauty. Inspired by the poem by Araceli Gourmet, You Are Who I Love. You 3 are beautiful sculptures, as if crafted by Michelangelo, which storms have weathered and the selfish have slashed. You, a single mother of 3 teens, you sing a solo like the heavens appointed you. You work 3 jobs and volunteer more. You refuse to feel sorry for yourself and live in gratitude. I hope you take the time each day to look in the mirror at the wonder the Master created and is restoring in you. You are who I admire. You, the mother of 2 teen daughters who were ripped away by a husband with connections. You who lift up those around you with your positive attitude and do not hesitate to serve others. I hope you delight in the beauty the Master has crafted, to let him repair and polish the deep cut that can't hide the splendor he created. You are who I admire. You, the single mother of 1 child, you who long to be a professional poet, there is no greater beauty than the vulnerability you show. I am amazed at your strength, your sensitivity, your forgiveness, even your righteous hate. You have that radical courage to split yourself open to let the Master work on the deepest part of you. You are who I admire. from a fellow scarred sculpture who is also under the master's restoration. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Randy. Now I'm going back to Chip.
Wow, Randy, that was wonderful. All of you was just so wonderful. I just want to give a round of applause for all of you who participated so far. So let's give it up. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to come back to the room and ask Barbara Ann Brocker to please come up and read. Barbara is amazing.
Wow. How wonderful is this? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Am I good? Oh, well, I'm not gonna take the rattle because, usually I love Poetry Street. Thank you, Chip and Maggie and George and Jen and also Claire and to Kris. I usually sing something uplifting. Today, I'm not really going to do that. Because the other day was International Holocaust Remembrance Day. So today I'm going to have a little homage to my friend Ruth. Book of Ruth. Is it good? Book of Ruth.
Thank you.
Ruth, 17, adventurous smile, leaves her comfortable home in Frankfurt. Why? Asked Papa. What for? Asked Mama. I want to be a nurse in New York. I'll send for you, says Ruth to baby sister, Hertha. The year is 1937. Soon it is Kristallnacht in Germany. The nightmare begins. Too late for papers for Hertha. Ruth, a New Yorker now, newly a nurse, newly in love. Soon Hertha's letters cease. Did they tattoo numbers on their arms? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 million. When they took them away to Auschwitz, were there numbers on Hertha's beautiful arm when they herded them together? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 million. Ruth lives a rich, full life. Her family indelibly tattooed on her heart, embracing friends, music, culture, impish smile, never far away, never pessimistic, never cynical, always tolerant, generous, wise. We saw you at the very end when you turned 90. Your birthday, the 65th anniversary of the day they liberated Auschwitz. Too late for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 million. We're recounting all the good times. Not having a good time now, you whisper. But don't cry, I'm the one who's dying here, you quip. Your coffin seems so small for a woman larger than life. Plain, a wooden star of David. You wanted a simple graveside ceremony, that beautiful, clear February day you're lowered into the ground. We reluctantly shovel dirt on your coffin. Your grandson offers to cover you, heaving great shovelfuls, carrying on your legacy of truth, wisdom, tolerance, justice, shoveling until the rabbi says gently, enough now, as we chant the mourners' Kaddish. We stand huddled in the winter sunshine in black leather, wool, fur, and down, amid the gray huddled headstones of unfamiliar Hebrew names in that crowded city cemetery. Your grandson takes his place next to his love. The girl you liked so much, she comforts him, and under her somber coat, her body as vibrant as the tropic sun, under her winter sweater, an entire sleeve, from wrist to shoulder, a Garden of Eden. bright flowers, sea creatures, bounteous cornucopia, paradise of reds, yellows, greens, blues, tattoos whisper reassuringly. We will love your grandson, Ruth. We will keep sunshine in his life. Make him happy, be his joy. Embrace him with these powerful arms. We remember Herta. We remember you. Rest easy.
What a beautiful tribute. Okay, so also from the film Poetry Street on the Road, we have Steve Kramer in the house.
Oh.
And he's doing episode number 6. Give it up one more time for Steve Kramer.
This will be a quick one. Regarding bread, what can I say? I love bread. I love all bread. Rye bread, brown bread, Italian bread, French bread, 8-grain bread, sourdough bread, pumpernickel, naan, putti, pita, bagels, poppy-seeded rolls, buns, fry bread. I love bread with butter, bread toasted or untoasted, with tomatoes, or with jam and peanut butter. I love bread as a cold cut and cheese vehicle. Bread is perfect for keeping a cheeseburger's grease from coating my fingers. I love bread as a dessert, bread pudding. I love bread for breakfast, French toast, rye toast with eggs and bacon, an egg sandwich on a poppy-seeded hard roll with melted American cheese. I love bread so much that if I would be eating bread right now if I was not reading this poem. In fact, when I'm done here, I may very well go and eat some bread. I love bread so much I will drive 30 miles at 7 a.m. just to buy bread at the Italian bakery that has been in business since 1913. I love bread so much that when there was no local bakery, I baked my own. Man, that was a lot of work. I know that nothing in this poem will cause you to re-examine your currently held beliefs or convictions or stop a war or end the pillaging of the natural world or get ice out of our neighborhoods. I love bread, and I thought you should know.
I love Steve Kramer. I love you should know. So let's go back to Zoom land.
Okay. On Zoom, we have new to us on Zoom, Rose Cervone Taylor, and then followed by Marcia Nelson. I'm going to ask Rose to unmute.
Okay. Well, good afternoon. Yes, this is my first time on Poetry Street, and I want to thank Kathy Donnelly and Judy Turek for sending me the invite. Thank you for a lovely afternoon to the features and all my fellow poets. I'm going to read something that's fairly new. The title is Silence is Not Golden. Silence is necessary sometimes, such as when a secret needs to be kept, or an honest opinion or feedback may turn out to be hurtful if spoken. We must use good judgment to do no harm. But then there are times when staying silent is just not called for, as that itself is doing harm and contributing to further victimization. When an injustice or crime is witnessed or comes into one's awareness, we should not stay silent. Otherwise, we are complicit with the offender. We should not stay silent when humanity is at stake, when our freedom or that of our loved ones or our neighbors is being trampled on, when rights are violated, when injustice is so obvious and blatant. We must speak up. We must. We cannot stand by and allow it. Speaking up is our duty as a human being who cares about others, for society and the greater good. We cannot stand by silently. That will not bring us the unity and peace I believe we are all seeking. Protest, write a poem, a song, an article, do something. Do it peacefully, without violence or aggression, but do something. Take a stand. Do not stay silent. That silence is not golden, it's complicit. That's how travesties against humanity are allowed to go on, by staying silent. Imagine where we would be if Martin Luther King Jr. or Gandhi or Eliezer Wiesel or other warriors of peace had stayed silent. Let us not go backwards to allow our freedom and rights to go by the wayside. Let us not silence our own voice. Let us take a stand against travesty and tyranny before it's too late. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rose. We will now go over to Marcia Nelson.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. And it's good to see everyone at Poetry Street, Chip, Maggie, Claire. I'm going to read this poem. It's about the season, and it doesn't have so much to do with the weather, but with the seasons that we're in right now. It's called A Bitter Cup of Sorrows. Not fire, not ice, but wind. From where and whence it flows, I do not know. Only portals can tell. They usher us forth with like light. The womb was my room, where I lay as an handbreadth, knitted by the master craftsman. You do something poetic, the changing of the guards and the four seasons, mountains of brass and gold to clothe me, songs of Solomon to soothe me. But winter has a weight of her own. You collect my tears in a bottle, place them under your altar, where souls leave this place like passing shadows, fleeting from the slice of your sickle. Gathering babies, old men, young men, and women, influencers. Tick tock goes the clock. It's a bitter cup of sorrows.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marcia. That was wonderful. And Chip, we'll go back to you and Maggie and then our features.
Next up, we have Pramila Vascasawan. And Pramila is a wonderful poet. She has a book called Exile is Not a Foreign Word, and it changed my life. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for this wonderful lady. You know it's like
Sorry, I missed the earlier part of today. I was busy writing letters in the other room. Oh. Ode to Palestine. I have not met you, but I have heard your songs. You lounge between the desert and the sea, lush with pomegranates, hanging grapevines, gardens of angels pouring out melodies that made the British rulers swoon, subduing the guns on jasmine nights. I write these lines for your olive groves, for the 100-year-old tree grandmothering your neighborhoods. Humble, bent over your tatris and kasidia, you invite the world to see beauty's mosaic. Today, I asked my sister, why did we never learn about Palestine in school? She answered, I guess we were so busy shaking off the Raj, we did not hear the tears of our sister in 1948. I now sing to you, my dear, Chant the names of your villages and cities. Jaffa, Gaza, Ramallah, Rafah, Al-Quds, Al-Khalim, Jenin, Khan Yunis, Ariha, Bethlehem. Sing to your olives and orange groves. Taste your Mediterranean salt. Bathe in your tears, carving our wells. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now Kelly Powell. Give it up for the Give it up for Kelly.
Thank you, everyone. Again, like Ramilla, sorry I missed. I had an art opening and then you made it. I am going to present a visual poem. This could go really well or really bad. We're taking a chance here. So I made a painting of Chip. And it was in a juried show at the Atelier, and I just picked it up. So I wanted to give it to him before some disaster befell it, or a blizzard. So I got excellent critique. DR said it looked like a cyborg. The bartender at Gunther had something to say. So, without further eloquence, I also edited out the dildos from the DVD stuff. I know. James Baldwin's friend painted in these colors.
Oh wow, this is so nice.
I can never do this again.
I'm a mess now. Like I didn't have enough. Kelly, this is just so beautiful. Thank you so much. Wow. Wow. I do have a poem. It's a short haiku. Yeah. And Laura said that she's not going to read, but Laura is going to be featuring along with myself and Mary Seymour next month. Laura Tucker, Mary Seymour, and myself.
Yes.
And February Black History Month. This is a haiku. Blocking all progress. Avalanche of hateful words. Dominoes falling. Thank you. Now I'd like to bring up our wonderful co-host, the wonderful, beautiful author of Sleepless Nights poems by Maggie Bloomfield. Maggie Bloomfield. Oh.
I touched it.
Help you. Help you.
Oh, I touched it.
You're good.
Okay. I think we should say a special thank you to Chip and Claire Lund for getting us through today. Okay, this poem is called In Hiding. There is a secret room in our basement. We discovered it after we moved in, under the stairs, obscured by a board on the door with sharps hanging. I suppose the board held keys, lots of keys. How many keys does one family need? We store our luggage there, If we remove the suitcases, put them in one of two other rooms elsewhere in the 1960s decorated basement with a wet bar, we can easily fit a family of 3 or 4 immigrants, or possibly 2 large trans women into that room. If we place a large piece of furniture in front of the door, like Germany during the Holocaust, think Anne Frank, or the genocide in Rwanda, where 8 women survived in a tiny bathroom for 91 days, we could slip them food and help them remain safe, at least until we have to hide there ourselves. I think we're done for today. Let's hear it for everybody except the we're coming back for an encore. Kris, do you have another poem to share with us?
The rain constantly pinched my exposed skin from my face and arms as I ran back in the boat and came back out with a net, and I immediately held it out in front of me and wait in the cold, shivering, hoping the boat doesn't sink. The wind picks up speed, rocking my boat. My Oakley visors were rattled loudly. I winced as I staggered step by step in my high-tech boots with cleats and spurs stabbing through the dock. Inside, I sat on the bench and checked the net and noticed the pieces of fabric were ripped off. I placed the clusters of small diamonds on a steel scale. The reading shows 100 pounds. I got up and walked towards this plastic measurement chart plastered on the wall. Wait a minute, I said in my helium voice. I pulled out my TI-84 from my NASA suit and calculated 2265 times 100. After I pressed the equal button, my eyelids gradually open up, my solar plexus loosen up. Initially, everything felt right with the world, especially Neptune. I just got a jackpot, was what I've written from my journal. As I steer away with the helm and head back to my spacecraft by cutting through the slushy sea, covered in vapor that's slowly rising on a planet that has no horizon. Poem. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, wonderful, Kris. Jen, come on up.
Yeah.
But I want to thank Randy Fowler. That really touched me. And sometimes somebody says something and you're like, well, that's why I came today. So thank you. It starts with a quote by F. Scott Fitzgerald. There are all kinds of love in this world, but never the same love twice. And the poem is called Never the Same Love Twice. In our Brooklyn youth, we stood naked and unafraid. Still, you know how to gentle our bodies into a soft interlock. The smell of you and your voice, a man now. I feel your breath as when we were young. You came when from beneath you I whispered, I love you. There were days we played at dissolution. We cried, our foreheads touching, we breathed the same air. We lay on our sides,
My knee bent, I felt you hard against my shin, and more we cried into the nights for a full weekend. Later, for months, and oh God, years, I wondered when this game had become your truth. Our death became your truth, my love, my last untainted love. Decades later, we meet as ghosts on this once easy road, my wounds hidden by desire for wholesome years. Let's stay close another night and pretend the end never happened and the beginning can happen twice.
Maybe no. And then I'll go upstairs. Is there one in particular?
Thank you, Jen. FYI, Randy Fowler is featuring here in March. Oh. And let's bring George back for an encore.
Well, it's a pleasure to read with Jen and with Kris. Thank you guys for being here to help bring a good crowd out here today. I haven't read this poem in about 15 years. I think anybody that was at the Pollock Crescent House 15 years ago, if you were there, I remember this. Maybe Tony, Kelly, were you there? A couple of you, so. About Johnny Chisholm, a guy who sold the Bibles and belt buckles, Kansas. Oh. It's amazing how yin and yang works. Good and evil works. Imagine you have to have a universe this big, for good and evil to both fit into it, or maybe it has to be really small for both of them to fit in. I'm not sure, but makes me think. Bibles and belt buckles. Johnny Chisholm wandered clear across the high prairie selling Bibles and belt buckles. It was a long time ago. No, he's not a preaching man, no sir. Just a fellow like you or me trying to make his way through this lonesome world, do a service to society and feed a family besides. The health bells could that boy sell. 6 months into that little operation of his, the sun rose and fell over Johnny Chisholm's buckles. It danced from belt to belt across the high prairie to the state line in fine or stormy weather. One time he sold half a dozen Bibles to some chickens. And soon after that, there was a rebirth of faith and decent expectations in every town and crossroads. And the commutation of naked souls is back on the table. Because as we all know, there's only two things a man needs if he aims to please his wife and maintain his dignity: a belt buckle and a Bible. And anyhow, whether you agree with what Johnny Chisholm was selling or not, it just didn't seem to pay no mind to the people of this state. A healthy dose of free enterprise and ample supply of natural charm was all we ever needed or was looking for. And ever since that boy walked out into this world, the farmers and cattlemen, the bankers and townsfolk of this great land has had two things that they can agree on, stand up for, praise on Sunday, and hang their hats on. Not to mention keep their britches up in the middle of a dog fight or during a state or local election. And that's Bibles and belts.
Give it up for all three of our teachers.
We did better than survive this afternoon.
Right.
Thank you so much. The poetry was amazing.
Yes.
And our technical staff was amazing. I hope you will all come back next month. Again, one of the features will be the poet laureate of Suffolk County, Chip Williford.
Thank you.
The other two are Mary Seymour and Laura Taylor.
Lord Tucker.
Lori Tucker. She's
Right.
up there.
Yes.
Good. Okay, so please come back the last Saturday in February. And I hope you all have a lovely evening. Thank you.